Hey, la Schumann. Niente. Hola, Oria. Two on the bow.
Cagao, viejo cagón. Che si manda? Stai di cazzo.
I parabordi grossi. Grossi.
Jochen, well, congratulations for arriving here first. How was
Thanks.
the trip for you?
A long one. It was basically a hugely up and down race. Long upwind to the Fastnet rock in 16 to 20 knots. But from the beginning we had a very good start, and from the very first tack on we were well in control of the fleet, and especially of Leopard, our direct opponent for the line on us. So, and after having this control, we kept them clearly behind us all the race, and close to the Fastnet when we split actually, or they split behind us to the right hand side of an obstruction zone, and that made us gaining quite a bit more extra, and we were leading at the rock with 15 miles, and downwind the wind died slowly, and it was only like 12 to down to 3 knots, and quite a struggle here for the last headlands and the base crossing, and coming in here to Plymouth was a difficult race, but much more Mediterranean style than normally. Rolex Fastnet can be much rougher. Now, our boat, Esimit Europa 2, obviously is an ambassador for the European vision, for all Europeans working together, and that's what we do as a crew here. We a lot of different nationalities, the best sailors from their countries, with a lot of experience, Olympic sailing and Volvo sailing, but all the America's Cup wins on the belt. So no, it's a top crew, and I think this race was not the most difficult for them because the conditions were quite clear and easy, Mediterranean as I said. And yeah, no, we are very pleased with the result and taking line on us of the Rolex Fastnet race.
Okay, guys, can you see the camera? Straight up, stay straight at me. Perfect.
And now we are.
Good.
Bravo, Igor.
Bravo. That's great. Good. Oh no, very good. Jochen, you've done that before, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we lost a lot at start point, so we had a great start and we had a really good first day, and then the first night we got stuck off start point with no wind and stood off thinking there'd be no wind inshore, and in fact everybody ghosted along right under the cliff, so it took a lot of pulling back from there, but we had a really good run back from the rock, and then it all nearly turned inside out again at the finish, but we managed to get across. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a big windward leeward, really, or it was for us. I think a lot of the smaller boats will probably fetch to the rock and be reaching back, so I should think they're loving life. But yeah, it was never going to be an ideal Fastnet for this boat. So to finish second on the water, I think is a great effort. And behind a boat like Esimit, which is 100 foot, which is built for windward lewards, I don't think we ever thought we were going to be able to beat her. And I guess we were a bit lucky to get past Leopard right on the finishing line. I think the best part for me was getting out the Solent. I just love that. It was, we had to overtake 300 boats. It was beautiful weather. We made a nice start. Lots to do on board, and it's always just a great scene. Yeah, just trying to thread our way through there. So that was good. Yeah.
Good practice for the Volvo 70 team themselves. The boat's been going quite a while now. You're a pretty practiced team, aren't you?
Well, you say that. I think there was only 3 people on board who sailed the last race. So half our crew were under 30. A couple of people joined us from other teams for this race. So actually, we hadn't sailed together as a team until 3 days before the race. So I was very pleased with how we sailed. We made some really good sail changes, made some good decisions, and basically let the young lads do most of the helming and trimming.
How did they get on?
Oh, good. Yeah, no, there's plenty of promise. Some really good guys, and it's a shame we only take 2 of them.
What about the performance then of the team SCA? I mean, they've been practicing down in Lanzarote. This is their first race. They've done pretty well, haven't they?
I think they sailed very smartly. I'm not surprised. I was telling everybody before the race start that it was going to be tough to beat them. They've been training for 6 or 8 months. They've got some of the best girl sailors, and of course they've got some of the best male sailors coaching them and on the boat with them. So it's really no surprise. I've sailed enough against that boat to know what it's made of, and they've clearly been working very hard, and I'm sure we'll have many battles in the future.
Well, Ian, congratulations getting in second boat on the water, beating some of the big boats. Must be a good feeling anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a really good result, and it's a good start to the programme. And yeah, I guess don't know what to say really. I guess we'd like to have broken the record. We'd like to have been windy and rough, but it wasn't. And in those circumstances, we just got to make the best we can, and I think we did.
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think we can be pretty pleased. I think the second half after the RORC was a little bit tougher than the first half. The first half was probably went very, very well, even though we had some troubles after the start. But yeah, we were just sailing away from our opposition and rounded the RORC in really, really good shape. And then on the way back, it was mostly downwind, and yeah, it was a bit tougher than the way up. But yeah, I think we managed to hang in there, and we really focused on ourselves, focused on just doing all the manoeuvres well and all the changes well. And I think, yeah, looking back at the amount of time that we've had so far, I think we can be pretty pleased with how we performed. I think this went really, really well. I think we can be really happy with that. Yeah, I think obviously the 5 girls that already contracted, yeah, sort of, yeah, we were, you know, getting to know each other better and better. And now the 4 girls that have joined for this race, I think we've really felt as a team and a group, and I think you can really see that the training and the hard work that we've put in has paid off. We've had exceptionally good weather. It was a very easy Fastnet in a way. Well, there's been a few around that are in much rougher conditions, so you could sort of say we had it easy. But still, you know, you got to get around the race course in good shape, and you got to do everything properly. And I think that's what we focused on, and I think we can be happy that we did that well.
Were looking almost as though you're going to beat the boys. They caught up with you though.
They did. They had a bigger sail up. No, I think we did exceptionally well on the first half. Like I said, until the RORC, we were pulling away from them easily, and you sort of scratch your head, how is this happening? But yeah, we were sailing the boat really well, and tactically we were playing the shifts really well as well. So and then on the way down, it sort of turned around a little bit. They came with pressure from behind. They had a slightly bigger sail. Makes their life a little bit easier, makes our life a little bit harder, and they sort of closed the gap and then eventually found a moment where they could pass us, and you know, we tried to hang in there, and we did towards the end. We're only 13 minutes behind, and I think we still beat them on corrected time, so we still beat them. Well, it's a big boat, and you can't really sail this boat with 9 people. So yeah, we're 12 on board, and but we haven't reached a stage yet where we can fully sail the boat on our own. And you know, it's thanks to the coaches that we're also able to do this and perform how we performed. So big thank you to them.
But great result and very close at the end as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really good start. We had a bit of a bad surprise on the start because our tack ram blew up, so we were a little bit handicapped off the start line. So that was quickly repaired by the crew, who did a really good job, because that's one of those things that you can end up completely destroying a sail at the same time. So we managed to save the sail. And then tacking through the Solent is always amazing. It's quite hard to do any kind of strategy whatsoever when you have to sail through 300 boats, but we made it out okay, and then the race as a whole was brilliant. Another one. They're always pretty good because there's lots of snakes and ladders. We played that game, and we won some and we lost some, and I learned loads, and I think everyone in the crew did. And I think we were quite proud of how we sailed and how we did all our sail changes, our manoeuvres, everything went really smoothly. And, okay, the weather was quite kind to us, but definitely I think all the training we're doing is worthwhile in showing up. Yeah, we were quite pleased to be ahead of them going around the rock. So that was a little bit of a private achievement for us, and even though they beat us in here, we didn't quite have the same sails on the way back, so we were struggling a bit without a spinnaker, and so I wasn't really surprised that they caught us up on the way back. Then it was a bit frustrating because then we had kind of the rich got richer on the way back as well, so it was a bit of a struggle until they parked here and waited for us. Very gallant of them.
Well, it was very close at the end.
Yeah, it was.
Now, solo sailing, you've done a lot of solo sailing. How does it compare being on a fully crewed boat?
It's really different sailing in a fully crewed boat. Everyone has their own job, so everyone's doing everything to perfection, and there's no excuses, and it's 100% all of the time, and there's always someone up, awake, concentrated, helming and trimming. And when you're single-handed sailing, it's a bit more. You have to do everything, and you have to adapt, and you never take your foul weather gear off pretty much in a race like that. You just be full on all the time, and 10-minute cat naps. But actually, as a navigator, it wasn't far different for me because there were lots of things to check and choices to make, and I don't think the navigators got much sleep on this race.
How much sleep did you get?
I lay down in the bed twice for an hour each time in the whole race.
So you haven't slept since Sunday?
Really? Yeah, more than I would have done if I'd done it single-handedly.
Well, that's very true. So it's
actually quite a luxury, really.
So if you had to sum up the Fastnet 2013, what would it be?
Summing up the Fastnet 2013, I think for me it's just another big part of the learning curve, and another Fastnet race. I think it's number 5 for me.
I think so.
And it always seems to be the same. I never get to see the rock because it's always dark, and it's always like this when we arrive in Plymouth.
Sam Davies, thank you very much.
The weather forecast was very incredible, because up the wind to go to the Fastnet, and up the wind to go back. And we just have a little downwind between the Bishop and the finish line. Very speed for us. And probably the high rating was very slow on this leg, I think. And this is the reason why it was possible for us to win. But the difference of rating was very, very important in the counting key class. So in the ERC race, when there is a very big difference of rating, the weather is very important.
Yes, very important. Tell us about the boat, because she has these 2 very big dagger boards and the canting kill.
Yes. Yeah? In fact, it's a boat close to a mini transat, and with a little bit of Volvo 70. Because the boat is narrow, the keel is at a very important angle, and the boat is very light also. It's around 4 ton and 50, and very easy to drive, and very fast downwind and reaching.
But you didn't have much downwind, it was all upwind, huh?
Yes, it was long time. Raining long, all the leg back in the Irish Sea was raining all the time. And close reaching, very hard, and it was difficult.
But you've won.
Yes, so we are happy.
How does it feel to win the trophy? Is it good?
Yes. The crew was very surprised to hear the bang on the finish line.
It's a nice feeling, huh?
Yes.
Is this your first Fastnet?
No, it's number 4, I think. Yes.
But you've not won before.
No. It's not. The last Fastnet. I think it could be possible to win, but there was a very, very light wind around Bishop, and we stay here for 6 hours, so it was very hard for us. But the first leg from the start to the Fastnet in the Rio Sea, reaching in 35 knots, the boat was flying over the sea. It was amazing.
Yes!
Emma, how's things going for you? Whereabouts are you?
Right now we're just south of the Bullfrog, and I believe we're in 6th in our fleet of Class 40.
Oh, that's a good position to be in, and you must be fairly happy with that. What's it like racing in the English weather here?
Yeah, well, the English weather's been okay. The Irish weather was terrible. We got absolutely soaked going around Fastnet last night, or yesterday evening. It was just like, yeah, it's misty, and none of us were really dressed for it. And then we had lots of sail changes to do going around, so we all just got absolutely drenched. But then it cleared off again overnight, and it's clear right now, so I hear it's raining in Plymouth, but...
Yes, it's wet here in Plymouth. It's not so wet out where you are. You're near Wolf Rock, so not too far to go. But how's the boat been going? How's the Class 40?
Yeah, the boat's been going really well. Last night, overnight, we had sort of perfect conditions for us, reaching with the code 0 all the way back, just straight lining, doing mid-teens, really easy and fast, and the Class 40 fleet in general was just fantastic. It's super competitive, and I think we're a bit spread out right now, a bit more than we've been used to in the other races this season.
Yeah, because there's a big entry list, wasn't there, in the Class 40, so it's great to see, and a very popular and an expanding class. Has the competition been close with them? I see you're a bit spread out now, but it must have been pretty close on the upwind.
Yeah, it was the whole way, even right up to Fastnet. We were quite close to about 4 other boats, and then there hasn't been much shuffling around. We got ahead of 40 degrees last night because they decided to go. Early this morning, they went north of the TFF west of the Phillies, and we went below it, and that managed to get us ahead of them. But yeah, it's been pretty close the whole way around.
Well, best of luck towards the finish then. What do you hope to achieve?
Well, we're trying to hunt down Red. They're a few miles ahead of us, and we'd love to catch them and get up to 5th, but we'll see. The boat sailed by good people, so I think we've got our work cut out for us.